For the cheapest coins with fast delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor, Red Zone Coins, and use code SWIFT at checkout for 20% off.
So Swift family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 20 video on the channel. And in today's video, we are going over the best players to be using your power-up passes on in Madden 20. Power-up passes are 100% the most important part of building your team. They allow you to save millions and millions of coins that you would have originally had to spend on players, where instead you can just put the pass in there and save all of the coins. Now, before I do get into the video, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub button. It would be greatly appreciated. The growth in the last few days has been incredible. Shout out to all the new subs, and of course, shout out to everyone in Noti Gang. You guys are much appreciated. And yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and let's hop into this right here. So I'm going to be going over four different power-up passes that you're going to get. I'm going to go over the 93 to 94, the 95, the 96, and the 97 power-up pass, talking about kind of what happens when you get them, and some suggestions for players to actually use those passes on. In my opinion, there's two main criteria that I like to take a look at when I am finding players to use my pass on. The first one is how expensive is the card, because if I'm just using my pass on a really cheap card, you're not really getting the most amount of value you can for that pass. And I also like to take a look at positions and players that have really glitchy stats and might get upgrades later in the future. So let's get started off with the 94 overall power-up pass. Now, the 94 power-up pass is really a power-up pass that you guys are probably going to end up using on NFL 100 players. That's probably the best category of cards within the 94 overall section. Now, these players are going to be a little expensive, so you're getting pretty good value for your coins, but one thing to note is when you power up these cards, they always have a really expensive NFL 100 card. So if you have the extra coins to spend, the 94 overall players are 100% the best players to be using your power-up pass on. Now, we're going to look at NFL 100 cards right here, and I have a few different cards that I really like for this 94 overall power-up pass. The first one is actually right here, and it is Reggie White's 94 overall card. When we take a look at his stats, they're pretty glitchy, to be honest with you guys. He's going to get up to 80 speed, plus 95 block shedding and 95 power move. With some extra chems, you can really get him up to be one of the glitchiest cards in the game. I have him at like 96 block shed or 97, and he's on my team right now. I actually used my 94 power up pass on him, so Reggie White is one really good option. Some other good NFL 100 options are in the cornerback position. There's honestly two really good corners you guys can use it on. Those are Deion Sanders and Willie Brown. Both of these corners are really good. Willie Brown is going to be a bit more of a man and zone corner, and he can also press with a little bit less speed. If you take a look at his stats right here, they are very incredible, really balanced. And then looking at Deion's stats, he's going to be much faster, but he's just not going to have as much press. I have Deion on my team right now. He's really good. He makes a ton of plays for me. So these two players are definitely guys you can consider to go along with Reggie White for that 94 overall pass. Now, with the 94 pass, there's also another thing you guys can do with it. If you have a really good team, and let's say you already have corners that are better than this and you already have better defensive linemen than this, I would recommend utilizing it on your offensive line, the 94 pass, if you already have a really good squad. The reason for that is these NFL 100 the NFL 100 offensive lineman cards are really good, and they're still some of the best O linemen in the game right now. Maybe you want to use it on Anthony Munoz. The interior offensive linemen are also really good. Bruce Matthews right here is on my team. He's a really good card. So yeah, if you already have some pretty good corners and some good depth and strength on the defensive line, then maybe you take a look at using the 94 overall pass on your offensive line with an NFL 100 card. But basically the gist of it is NFL 100 players are the best to use the 94 pass on. I would recommend you probably use it on one of those corners. They're probably two of the really glitchy corners, but if not, you can grab the Reggie White. He also has really incredible stats. Now, moving on to the 95 overall power-up pass, Sean Taylor is 100% my favorite player to use this pass on. There are some other good options, but I'm going to take a look at Sean first, and then we'll talk about some of the other options afterwards. So as we look at his speed, or his stats right here, he's going to have 93 speed, 95 hit power, and 92 zone to go along with some pretty solid stats across the board. This Sean Taylor card is so glitchy. Plus, all you have to do is use training to get him up there, because he has no prior cards to this, and you're going to get 425k of value, which for a 95 is very pricey, so you are getting good value when it comes to that. Now, a couple other options you guys could use this pass on. One of them is going to be Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's not going to be as expensive as Sean Taylor, but he's still a pretty good option, to be honest with you guys. I currently have Bo on my team. He's potentially the best running back in the game now that Dickerson got nerfed. He's going to have 95 speed, 95 truck, and just looking at his stats, they're all really incredible. All over 92, all 93s, honestly, across the board. So this Bo Jackson is a really, really good card. And the final player you guys could be using this on is going to be Taylor Mays, you guys. Taylor Mays did just come out into the game. He's going to have comparable stats to Sean Taylor, but the reason why I prefer Sean Taylor over this Taylor Mays card is because there's already a Jamal Adams into the game, plus a Pat Tillman, who have pretty similar stats to this guy. If we take a look at my Pat Tillman and my Jamal Adams, they're pretty similar hit power. Maybe Pat's a little bit slower, but he makes up for it in some of the tackling and play rec. And then Jamal Adams as well is basically just a better card than Taylor Mays, to be honest with you guys. So Taylor Mays is an option, but there's already good strong safeties in the game. So with your 95 pass, my recommendation is to use it on Sean Taylor. That's the best 95 by far. Plus, you're getting a good amount of coin value, and if you use it on Bo Jackson, you still have to buy his Redux card. I think he has like a 91 overall Redux, so you're still going to have to buy that card, which is pretty pricey. So Sean Taylor is probably the best move to use the 95 overall pass on. Now, the 96 overall pass is a really unique one because there's a ton of good cards, but they all really differ in value quite a bit. So when we look right here, there's a bunch of really good Team of the Year players that are in the game right now. They're all really cheap, though. To be honest with you guys, 250k for a 96 overall player is incredibly cheap. So when we're taking a look at this 96 overall pass, my recommendation is to use it on a more expensive player who has stats that are just as good as these Team of the Year cards, and then with those additional coins that you might have left over, use coins to buy these 96s because they're cheaper. So it's easier to get one of these 96s that's a Team of the Year and buy it, and then use a pass on a more expensive 96. So looking at some of my favorite 96 overall players in the game right now, the first one has to be my boy Steve Young, probably my favorite quarterback in the game right now. He's going for 430k. He is currently on my squad. He's got 86 speed, and all of his throwing stats are basically immaculate. He's going to get dashing Deadeye. He's going to get escape artist. The Steve Young card is really good. His 90 overall legend isn't that pricey, so you're going to be able to get this card up to a 96 in a pretty inexpensive manner. So 96 Steve Young is definitely an option for you guys to use the pass on. I forget if I use it on him or if I actually bought him, but I have him on the team either way, and he's a baller for me. Now, there's one other option for a player you can use your 96 pass on, and I believe this is actually who I used mine on, but it's going to be 96 overall Calvin Johnson. Just look at those stats. 95 speed for Calvin. EA really gave him a glitchy card. If you have Brawler on him, you can get him all the way up to 98 speed. That's what I have him on my team right now. So this 96 Calvin and the Steve Young are probably the two best cards to use your power up pass on. They're both going to be really expensive, and if you end up using the pass on one of these players, then you can just use coins to pick up one of the other Team of the Year cards if you want one of them. There's a ton of good Team of the Year cards. I have a bunch of them on my team. I didn't use the pass on any of them though, just because I'd rather spend the 200k on a Team of the Year card rather than spend the 500k on Calvin Johnson. So I just use my pass on Calvin Johnson. But there's a ton of good Team of the Year players. Jamal Adams you can pick up, Tre'Davious White, George Kittle, just a ton of really good ones. But when it comes to the power up pass, I'd rather use it on a more expensive card. That way we don't have to spend those coins. So Calvin and Steve Young are two of my favorite picks, and these are two really important positions, wide receiver as well as quarterback. You could basically secure your quarterback for the rest of Madden by picking up Steve Young. He will get up to a 98 maybe. If you have good chems, you can get him up to a 98. So that's basically an end game card. Same with Calvin Johnson, you get him up to a 98 if you have good chems on him. So Calvin, Steve Young, those are the two moves in my opinion when it comes to the 96 pass. Now with the 97 overall pass, we are in a weird position for this one as well. The reason for that is there are new cards that are going to be coming into the game, which are going to be 97s, and these cards are going to be coming into the game probably within the next few weeks. There'll be new Ultimate Legends, there'll be new promos and stuff like that. So with the 97 overall pass, my main recommendation is just to wait. If you have it already, I would just wait. Personally, there's not enough good cards in the game yet for me to actually make the decision. Right now, really the only dominant 97, or the only player that I could be like, yeah, this is someone you should use the pass on, is Stephon Gilmore. It would be really easy for me because I already have his 97 overall card, not his 97, his 95 overall card right here. So I would just put the pass in and I would get him leveled up pretty easily. But if you have to buy all of his other additional cards and get the power up started from the bottom, and get them all the way up to the 97 just to use the pass, it's probably not worth it for the Gilmore in my opinion. My main recommendation with this 97 overall pass is just to wait. There's honestly not enough good cards out yet, and I'm assuming EA is going to release a bunch of good cards in the future, in the next few weeks, and you're going to want to have that pass in case, let's say, someone you have on your team gets upgraded. Then you're going to just be able to throw the pass in there and get that new card rather than just spending all these coins to get that Stephon Gilmore, and then putting the pass in him. So yeah, in my opinion, wait with the 97 overall pass, but that's basically going to do it for the video. Basically, my main recommendations are for 94 overall pass, grab an NFL 100 card, maybe a corner. I really like those NFL 100 corners. When it comes to the 95 overall pass, we have a few different options with it, but my favorite one is going to be the Sean Taylor with the 95 overall pass. He's a really glitchy card, and he's basically the best option there. Now, with the 96 overall pass, there was a couple people I liked, Steve Young as well as Calvin. I wouldn't use it on a Team of the Year player just because, I mean, you can buy those players with coins. If you don't have the coins, check out Red Zone Coins. But yeah, use the 96 pass on a player that's a bit more pricey, like Steve Young or Calvin, and then maybe save up the coins to get maybe a Team of the Year card if you want that. And then with the 97 overall pass, my main recommendation is just to hold on to it for now. There's not enough cards out in the game for us to make those decisions, so I'm just gonna wait with mine when I do end up getting it, and then we'll see what else does get released into the game. So that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did, and until next time, I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
It means no worries.